Imagine turning up to Old Trafford and realizing the man between the sticks just rewrote the season. Not a slow rise, not a rumor that fizzles a few games, a handful of jaw-dropping moments, and suddenly the whole team breathes easier. This is the story of a 23-year-old who arrived quietly and, almost overnight, became the heartbeat of a club that had been searching for certainty for years. But how does a goalkeeper go from unknown to indispensable so fast? Let's find out. He didn't arrive with the fanfare of a headline transfer. The fee looked modest on paper, the kind of deal that usually means project player rather than instant solution. Yet the move made sense. A young keeper with serious shot-stopping numbers and a reputation for calm under pressure. From the first minutes he played, you could see why scouts had been quietly excited. The attitude in goal felt different, composed, confident, decisive, and that quiet confidence began to ripple through the defense. Not every player has a defining match. He did. At Anfield, under lights and pressure that crushed reputations, he produced a save so precise it made a stadium go silent. One-on-one, angle closed, reaction perfect, the kind of stop that turns a possible narrative of chaos into a claim that this is a goalkeeper with ice in his veins. But it wasn't just one moment. It was 5 crucial interventions that night, each one an argument. He wasn't fluking it, he was imposing himself. After that, pundits stopped calling him a hope and started treating him as a pillar. You can watch the highlights and feel how the energy shifted. The easy label for keepers is shot stopper or playmaker. He refuses both. He reacts like a classic number 1 lightning reflexes, fearless in one-on-ones, but he also moves the team with his feet. Rather than forcing the side to adjust to him, he extended the manager's toolbox. Long passes that bypass the press, quick distribution that turns defense into attack. These actions didn't feel random. They were tactical weapons, used deliberately to create chaos, win second balls, and force opponents into mistakes. That hybrid skill set turned him into more than a safe pair of hands. He became a tactical trigger. Great runs always come with questions. How long can it last? Can he resist the noise? There were moments when the margin of error narrowed. A fluffed clearance, a misread cross, an anxious minute that made fans hold their breath. But what stood out was how he responded. Instead of trying to be spectacular every time, he focused on basics, positioning, timing, and doing the simple things well. That maturity isn't flashy, but it prevents headlines. And in a club used to goalkeeper drama, reliability quickly becomes the most underrated superpower. Once the performances pile up, comparison threads start. Legendary names get dragged out not to crush the newcomer, but to frame the possibility. The danger for him is twofold: being turned into someone else on paper and losing identity while chasing a legend's shadow. He's not a replica of the greats, he's a different breed. And the louder the praise, the louder the scrutiny. That pressure can either harden you or fracture you. So far, the reaction has been to keep his head down, let the work do the talking, and let the team's improved rhythm answer the critics. When a goalkeeper can kick long with purpose and accuracy, you don't just gain an outlet, you gain an option. The team started to press differently, anticipating second balls and running channels that exploited the chaos his long passes created. Set pieces and corners began to look less like panic points and more like planned opportunities. The defense, relieved of constant anxiety about distribution errors, pushed higher. The midfield could gamble more. The entire shape of the side subtly shifted from reactive to proactive. That kind of influence is rare. It's the difference between a goalkeeper who helps his team survive and one who helps it dominate. Goals prevented are quantifiable. Belief isn't. A keeper who inspires confidence rewires teammates' instincts. Defenders step up, attackers take riskier runs, and coaches can plan with less fear. That belief shows up in small ways. A defender who trusts the goalkeeper to claim the ball instead of panicking. A fullback who pushes forward knowing the keeper will sweep. Those intangible shifts create measurable points on the table. And when a club has been chasing consistent goalkeeping for seasons, restoring that psychological calm can feel like reclaiming a lost identity. If he wants to turn this bright start into a long career at the top, consistency is the currency. Form dips, tactical evolution by opponents, and inevitable injuries are part of football. The task ahead is simple in description and brutal in practice. Keep delivering, adapt as teams try to neutralize his strengths and remain unshakable off the field. The reward? Potentially a decade where his name becomes part of the club's defining moments trophies, iconic saves, generations of supporters talking about the man who steadied an era. He's more than a summer signing who did well. He's the kind of player who changes how a club thinks, not just how it plays. That's the rarest impact, when a single presence alters both results and identity. In 5 games, you can spark hope. Across seasons, you forge legacy. The next steps will tell us whether this was a brilliant burst or the first chapter of something that will be remembered decades from now. But for now, when the team looks back on a season that felt rebuilt, they may well say it began with a calm set of hands, a fearless stance, and a footballer who arrived to do a job and ended up changing everything. What happens when opponents start designing matches specifically to silence him? Will the tactical advantages hold, or will that be the moment he proves he's not just a flash? That's the story we'll be watching, not because it's sensational, but because the answer will decide if he becomes just good or truly unforgettable. If you've seen his saves, tell me which one stunned you the most: the close range reflex, the Anfield one-on-one, or a distribution that led to a goal. Drop it in the comments and let's break down the moment together.